Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Anas Mashabi, leader of team Green Team. And here we will present the final presentation about our project. Let's go first with the agenda. We have this agenda and we will go through them in our presentation. First, defining the project. What is our project? And then the 4 phases or 5 phases. We have the initiation, planning, executing, and monitoring and controlling. Finally, the closing process. And these are 6 phases. Finally, the conclusion. Let's go first with the first thing, which is defining the project. What is our project? Our project is an introductory course about the faculty of engineering and the mechanical engineering major for high school students. And we aim in this project to increase the knowledge of the high school students about the university. The project or the course will be implemented in 3 days, 2 hours per day. And our target group are the high school students. And this project considered as a service outcome project. Let's go to the deliverables, and we mean by deliverables are the things that will be delivered to the client throughout the course. And first we have announcing the course, then introducing the preparatory year, then we have introducing the faculty of engineering. Before finally they have the experimental implementation session, and finally the final surface. Going with the first phase in managing the project, we have the initiation first. This is the first one, and the first thing you need to do in initiation phase, which is the project charter. And the project charter, it is the base of your project. The first thing you need to do and get before you start the project, before start managing the project. We have here the inputs, tool techniques, and outputs for each process. And this process, the project charter, the input is the business documents, agreements, EVE and OPA. What do you mean by EVE and OPA? EVE is the enterprise environmental factor, and OPA is the organization process assets. And in project charter, we have the tool techniques. We have some tool and techniques like expert judgment and data gathering. And finally, we have the output, which is the project charter, obviously, and the assumption log. Let's go in detail in the project charter. First thing in project charter, you need to determine what is the project purpose. What do you want to do? And the purpose from our project is increasing the awareness of high school students about the faculty of engineering and the mechanical engineering major especially. And then you need to determine what are the objectives, what are the goals that you need to achieve. In our project, we have 5 main objectives, and the first one is increase the knowledge of high school students about the requirements of the College of Engineering. The second one is increase the knowledge about the basic of mechanical engineering, then acquire some skills for doing particle experiments. We have then educating the students about the university requirement, and finally realize the pathway of the preparatory year. Let's go then to the high level requirement. This is the third thing you need to determine the project charter. And in our project, we have 5 level requirements, 5 requirements, the approvals from the faculty, and we need a place to present the course, then approvals from the presenters, the course, and then identify the course content and the experimental tools. Then let's go to the project description, and we mean by that, what is the description of your project? What do you mean? So this is the description for our project. Uh, Going to the milestones, and those are the things that you deliver, or the things that will stop you in your project, not stop you, the things that you need to go through in your projects. And we have 4 main milestones. Then going to the financial resources, and the final total resources for our project is 6,100, yeah, and this is approximately. Going then the stakeholders, and those are the stakeholders for our project. We have mainly 5 stakeholders: Faculty of Engineering, Al Gharsa Mubarak office, and project organizers, presenters, and finally the students. Then we have the project approval requirements, and we mean by that the approvals, the main approvals that we want to do the project. We need 3 approvals in general. The first one is from the Faculty of Engineering, the second one from the Al Gharsa Mubarak office, the third one, and the final one, is from the presenters to do the project. After that, we need to determine what is the exit criteria, what is the outcome of our project. And the outcome of a project is that we need a student that's aware of the university requirements and the basics of engineering. Then you need to assign the manager of your project, and the manager of our project is Anas Al-Mashabi, me, and these are the responsibilities for the managers. Then you see here the sponsors of our project, and we have 2 sponsors, the Faculty of Engineering and Al Gharsa Mubarak office. And here I showed you the project charter in the presentation, and now I will show you the project charter in MS project. This is the MS project for our project, and here you can see in front of you the project charter, the MS project. This is the purpose, purpose and the objectives, high-level requirements, high-level description, milestones, the total cost, and we have the stakeholder list, project approval requirement, exit criteria, the manager, assigning the manager, and finally the sponsors. Going to the presentations, we have the second thing, which is identifying the stakeholders. The stakeholders are the sponsors, or anyone that involves, or any companies that involves in your project. To identify the stakeholders, we have some input tool and techniques and outputs. In the inputs, we have the project charter, business document, project management plan will be explained later. The project documents, we have the agreements, even OPA. For tool and techniques, we have expert judgment, data gathering, data analysis, and data representation, and final the meetings. In the outcome, of course, we have the stakeholder register, and these you can see the outcomes for this step. Let's go to the stakeholder register, and here we identify all the stakeholders for our project, and who are the representative from the stakeholder, and how we will contact with him, and how much power, interest, impact, and influence does each stakeholder has. So you can see here we have mainly 6 stakeholders, and you can see them in front of you. And here the second part for the stakeholder register, and this part answer 2 questions, and you can see them in front of you. And this is the third and final part for the stakeholder register. And after the stakeholder register, we have determined 3 charts, or 3 grids. The first one is power interest, how much each stakeholder have power with the interest. And this is the second one, power, influence, and this is the third one, impact and influence. And before going to the next step, I will show it to you in the MS project. Here you can see in the stakeholder register all the stakeholder names, this representative, and this is the all stakeholder register. You can see it in front of you. Going back to the presentation with the next phase, which is planning process phase groups and planning phase. And the first thing in this phase is the project management plan. And the project management plan is called the master plan for the project. And it is very important in each project to be determined. And it is the input and output for each process because it contains all the project, you can say that. Going to the planned scope management, in this process, we will determine the scope or how to deal with the scope and how to manage scope. And here you can see the input, tool and techniques and output for this process. And one of the tools and techniques is collecting requirements. And in collecting requirements, we will see what are the requirements that we need to do, or what are the requirements that each stakeholders need from us to do. So we have some inputs, tool and techniques and outputs, and let's go to some tools and techniques, which is the requirement traceability matrix. And this in this requirement traceability matrix shows the requirements from each stakeholders and what are the in scope and out scope of each requirement, and in which process will be delivered this requirement, and how to design or product design this and develop this requirement. And you can see here the first part of the requirement traceability matrix. Here you can see the project name and then project description. And here you see the source or the stakeholder. And we have here how to contact with the stakeholder. And we have then in the third column, we have the requirement description. And this is the first part of the requirement traceability matrix. Going here to with the next part. And we have here the third part and fourth part, and the requirement traceability matrix divided in 4 parts because the presentation I will show it to you in this project all in general. So this is the requirement traceability matrix. We have here the source and how to contact with them, and what are the requirements, the in scope and out scope on all the requirement traceability matrix in front of you. Let's go back to representation and going to defining the scope, and this one will be presented by my teammate Abdullah.
Thank you, Anas. I represent to you a defined scope, but 1 minute, I will do a screen, share screen. Okay. Define scope. Define scope is, we have here a project scope statement. The input for the project scope statement is the project charter, project management plan, project document, and EVE or OVA, and the tools and technique. We have the expert judgment or data analyze or decision making. The output for the project scope statement is the project scope statement or project document update. For project scope description, inner scope, 1 minute here. Inner scope, we have delivering information to the student about the reality of the university life. The student knowing about the requirement of the university. Rent a hall good enough for the student. Be ensure that the student get the information easily. Share the course to largest number of students. And the project acceptance criteria for the project is the high student turnout for the course, assigning a test after the course to ensure that the information reaches the student, developing a questionnaire to ensure the course succeeds. Here the project deliverables. There's a direct output announcing the course or presenting the introductory season session about the preparatory year, or presenting the introductory session about the College of Engineer, or presenting the practical session. And the additional outcome, we have a test result or questionnaire answer. Project exclusion. Outer scope. Increasing the number of courses offered in the name of the university. Also, we have maybe KU student, the presenter, gain additional experience to refine their skills. More students will register to the university. Algar's office will make relationship with the university. The society knowing about Algar's office. Here, we can see it in the MS project. The scope statement. We have here the project scope description or project exception criteria, project deliverables, or project exclusion here. Let's go back to the PowerPoint and see. Create work breakdown structure, WBS. The WBS have input is project management plan and project document and if and OBA. The tools and technique is expert judgment, decomposition. The output will be a scope baseline, project document update. The project document update will include assumption log or requirement documentation. Here is the WBS. We have here the name of our project. Here is the activity, that subtask of the task. Also here we have another example for here. Here is a subtask of curriculum, and here is the subtask of the subtask. We can see the WBS in our MS project. Let's go here. We can see it here. This is the WBS for the whole project of us. For example, where is it? Here. Curriculum, prepare the content or course facil. Here's the subtask of that. That's it. Let's go back. Plan schedule management. The plan schedule management have input project charter, project management plan, if and over. The tools and technique is expert judgment, data analysis, and meetings. The output is schedule management plan. Define activities. Activity, you see the activities in the WBS, but let's define it. The activity have input, project management plan, if and over. The tools and technique is expert judgment, decomposition, rolling wave planning, meetings. The output for define activity is activity list, activity attribute, milestone, change request. project management plan update. Here is one activity. We can see here is the approval. Here is the subtask. Also, here is a subtask for the approval. Here's another subtask. And here is the activity. We can see the activity after the subtask. For activity attributes, we can see here the task, and this is the activity, and this is attribute. We can see here we have the whole activity, the task and the activity and attribute. Let's go to the MS project to see the activity and the activity attribute. We can see here the activity, the whole activity here, and here is the activity attribute. We can see it. Milestone list. The milestone list, number one is receive all approval, hall reservation, starting the course, finishing the course. Also, we can see the milestone in the MS project. 1 minute, like this. All the activity, for example, this will be the milestone. If you go like this, it's hall reservation, as we said before. Another example for it. Let's see, let's look. Yes, here. If you go like this, start the course. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint. Sequence activities. The sequence activity have input project management plan, project document, if and OBA. The tools and technique is they have leads and legs, dependency determination and integration. And the output, we have project schedule network, diagram, and project document update. We will have from it activity attribute, activity list, assumption log, milestone list. Estimate activity duration. The duration have input the project management plan and the project document and the if and OBA. The tools and technique will be expert judgment or barometric estimating and 3-point estimating. And we have the output is duration estimation, base of estimation, project document update. We can see the sequence and duration in the WBS on here. Here is the duration, 2 days to finish this, or 1 day, or 9 days to finish all this. And here is the sequence. For example, here we should finish 4 to can start here, or here we should finish 8 to start, like this. Develop schedule. Have input project management plan and project document and agreement, if and OBA. The tools and technique will be schedule network analysis, critical path method, and so on. The output will be schedule baseline, project schedule data, project calendar, change request, project management plan update, the project document update. Here's the critical path. We can see here the start for start, we will have a critical path the way we cannot stop on it. I think we have it here in the MS project with the blue color. You can see it. The critical path for us.
The red color.
The red color?
Yes,
Yeah.
it is the red color.
Okay, the red color. The critical path is the red color.
Mhm.
And now we'll go with my friends Omran. Thank you.
Sorry, I forgot the mic. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, my teammate Abdullah.
1 minute. I wanna go out from. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Starting with the plan cost management. The input to this phase is the developed project charter, the master plan, even OPA as usual. The tools that we're going to use to plan the cost management is the expert judgment, data analysis, meetings, and finally we got the cost plan. Okay, estimate cost. In this phase, we are going to try to estimate the total cost of the project that we will need to assign it to the budget. Okay. Input to this phase are, as usual, the master plan, the project documents, if and OPA, and the outputs will be the assumption lesson learned, and the risk register. These are the tools that we are going to use in order to estimate the cost. And these are some of the techniques that will help to estimate the cost, as analogous estimating, parametric estimating, bottom-up estimating, viewpoint estimating, and so on. Okay. After that, in 7.3, we are going to determine the budget that we are going to assign to our projects. These are the main inputs to this phase. As usual, master plan, project documents, and IF and OPA. Okay. And the output will be the cost baseline for the whole project, project funding requirements, and the cost estimations. Okay. MS project helps us to see the total cost of the whole project automatically by entering all the costs that you are going to need in each of the activities. The software will calculate the whole budget for the project. In our case, is 5,450 Saudi riyals. Okay. This is the budget to do the project, but we need to consider the risks that we might face in our project. So we added the contingency reserves, which is about 300, and the cost performance baseline will be 5,750. The management reserves are about 250. So the whole approved project budget is about 6,000. In the plan quality management, the input to this phase is the project charter, the master plan, the documents, and if and all. Okay. In this phase, we are going to try to plan how we are going to check the quality of the deliverables our project. So the output will be the quality plan, okay, the quality matrix, and updates to the master plan. After that, we're going to plan the resource management. The inputs to this phase are project charter, master plan, and the project documents that related to the resources. Tools that we are going to use to plan the resource management are, as usual, expert judgment, data representations, and especially we're going to use the responsibility assignment matrix, okay? And absolutely organization theory and meetings. The outputs of this phase are the resource management plan, the team charter, and the project documents updates, okay? The method that we are use is RASI matrix, which mean responsibility assignment matrix. R means responsible, A means accountable, C means consult, and I mean inform, okay? And these are the activities that each of the resources are going to do, okay? So this is the RASI matrix in front of you. You can see on the left column the activities in our project, and here are the workers in the project, and these are their responsibility on each of the activities. These are the rest of the activities in our project, and this, and in the right side, the responsibilities for each worker in the project. Also, Microsoft Project Software helps us to do the RASI matrix in the same file. This is our the RASI matrix for our project. On the left column, you can see the activities, and here are the workers in our project with their responsibilities to each of the activities. After that, we are going to estimate the activity resource. In this case, we are going to assign the resources to the activities. As you can see, the inputs are the master plan, project documents, and OPA. The outputs will be basis of estimates, resource breakdown structure, project documents, updates. Okay, and the tools are expert judgment, bottom estimating, and all the rest of the tools and techniques. After that, we're going to plan the communication management. The communication is one of the most important tools in the project management. The input to this phase are the master plan, the project charter, all the project documents. The output will be updating to the master plan, updating to the stakeholder engagement plan that we're going to talk about soon, and the communication management plan. And this project also helps us to show the method that we are going to use to communicate with our stakeholders. There are three main methods to interact with the stakeholders in the projects. The first method is interactive, okay, and the second method is push method, and finally the pull method. Here we used the MS project to give an examples of interactive, push, and pull methods in our projects. In the interactive method, you can see stakeholders meetings, phone calls, and discussions. And these are an examples for our methods in this project. After that, move into the plan risk management. with my teammate Anas.
Thank you, Imran. Okay, going to the plan risk management, and we mean by plan risk management is how to deal with risks, and we mean by risks positive or negative risk. It could be positive or could be negative risks. So in this process, we have the inputs here: the project charter, the master plan, the project documents, even OPA. Those tools and techniques, we have the expert judgment, data analysis, and meetings. And finally, of course, the risk management plan. And the first thing in the project management plan is the identifying the risks. What are the risks that could happen to us in implementing the project? So in this process, we have also some inputs, techniques, and outputs. We can see here the inputs, many things in the master plan, project management plan, many things also in the project documents, agreements, and we have even OPA. We have some tool and techniques in front of you, and finally the outcome, the risk register, risk report, and project document updates. In determining the risks, we need first what it calls probability impact matrix, and this matrix shows the level of risk for each or the region that the risk could be high or low for our projects. And you see here the red region is the high risk level. The yellow region is the moderate risk level, and finally the green region is the low risk level. And this level and these levels based on our project. Let's go to the identifying the risks. Here you can see all the risks that could happen to us in implementing the projects with their categories and with their risk description. And you see here the impact, how much each risk could impact our project. For example, here we have the projector malfunction. The risk level is moderate, and keep going. And MS Project also help us with the with a risk. With a defined risk. Here you can see the each risk and their description, and how much probability and impact they have. Then the risk level and the response and mitigation action. The response and mitigation action will be explained right now. We have 5 responses for each risk. The first one is mitigate or enhance. The second one is transfer or share. The third one is avoid or exploit. The fourth one is escalate. The fifth one, the final one, is accept this risk as it is. The red response are if the risk is negative and there are threats, and the green response if the risk is positive and considered as opportunity. And you can see here the plan risk response for each risk, and we showed them in the MS project. And then let's go to the plan procurement management, and we mean by that it is determining what to purchase or acquire, and determine when and how we purchase the purchasement we have. So first we have the inputs, the project management plan, the master plan, the project documents, even OPA. We have some tool and techniques. Some of them are data analysis and decision making. Finally, we have the outcome, the change request. If you want to change anything, you need to do the change request, and updating to the project management plan and the project document. Then we have the final thing in planning, which is plan stakeholder engagement. And we mean by that, it is the process of developing appropriate management strategy to engage the stakeholders throughout the project, how you can engage the stakeholders into the project. So we have the inputs here: project charter, master plan, project documents, agreement, even OPA. We have some tool techniques like expert judgment and data analysis, and data gathering. And we have the output, which is a stakeholder engagement plan. After that, after doing all these processes, you need what it calls kickoff meeting, and you need to meet with your stakeholders to start your projects, actually. And this is the final step in planning. And now going to the executing phase, and that will be explained with my teammate Abdullah.
Thank you, Anas. Direct and manage project work. The input of direct and managed project work is the project management plan, project document, approval, change request, if and over. The tools and technique is expert judgment and meeting. The output will be the deliverables, work performance data, issue log, change requests, and so on. The manage project knowledge is have input of project management plan and project document and deliverables and event over. The tools and technique is expert judgment and knowledge management, information management. The output will be lesson learned register, project management plan update, organization process assist update. Manage quality. Manage quality is the act of overseeing all activity and task that must be accomplished to maintain a desired level of excellence. Next. Acquire resource is the third process of project resource management knowledge area that deals with the calling with the various human resource, facility, tools, and equipment. Develop team. Develop team is a self-organization cross-function team of people who collecting any responsible for all of the work necessary. Manage team. You can manage team by maintain a good communication, build a positive working relationship, be real, something like that. Manage communication. Also, you can manage communication by map out project organization, identify your stakeholder, make sure the team gets role and responsibility, create communication plan, prepare project state report, and so on. Implement risk responses. The process of implementing risk response is the process of planning and implementing action, and plan is response to the project risks. Conduct procurements is the process of obtaining seller, responsible selection of a seller, and wording a contract. Manage stakeholder engagement is you can see here the input is the project management, and in the middle is the tools and technique, and the output is in the right, project management plan or project document. Mentoring and controlling process group. We have mentoring and controlling process control project work. The mentor and control project work have input is the project management plan and the project document and the agreement, if and OBA. The tools will be expert judgment, data analysis. The output will be changing request, work performance report, project management plan update, and so on. Perform, integrate, change control. We'll have input project management plan and project document, work performance report, change request, if OBA. The tools and technique will be expert judgment, change control tools, data analysis, and the output will be approved change request, project management plan update, project document update. Next. And now with my friend Omran.
Hello again. In the validate scope, here we are going to check the progress of the project, and that we are on the same path and achieving the scope of the project. The inputs are the master plan as usual, the project documents, and the outputs will be the accepted deliverables of the project, and work performance information, some change requests and updates to the project documents. To validate the scope, we are going to do some inspections and decision making, such as voting. Next. Controlling the scope. Here we are evaluating the progress of the project and the changes that occur during the project, and the changes that might happen to the scope. Okay. The input as usual, the master plan, project documents such as lesson learned, requirements documents, and the direct and managed project work, and if and all. Okay. The output will be some change request to the perform integrated change control, and our performance information, updates to the project management plan and project document. Next. Control the schedule. Here we should ensure and evaluate the duration of each of the activities has been not exceed the schedule, and the leads and lags that happened in the whole project. The output as usual, some change requests, work performance information, updates to the project documents and project management plan. Next. Control cost. Evaluating the all the spend and earned money during the project, changing the budget based on the risks and all unknowns, problems that occur during the progress of the project. The outputs are, as usual, some change requests, work performance information, updates to the project documents if needed, and to the master plan. Next, control quality. Here we check the quality of the deliverables that have been delivered to the stakeholders, okay? To ensure that the projects are going on the schedule and in the assigned budget and achieving the requirements from the stakeholders, which is the scope of the project. Okay. The outputs are change requests, work confirmations, updates to the master plan and project document, and the verified deliverables to the validated scope. The difference between quality, control quality, and validated scope, that validated scope are concerned about accept the work that delivered. The control quality is concerned about the correctness of the deliverables that have been delivered to the stakeholders. They can go in parallel, but usually the control quality, but usually we should do the control quality and then the output will send to the validated scope. Next. In controlling resource, here we manage the resources that we are going to use in the project and ensure that it's enough to implement the projects. And the output of this phase are change requests, work information, work performance information, updates to the master plan and project documents. Next. In controlling communications, here we should evaluate that all the informations between the stakeholders and the project managers are correct and understood. So we should always check the communications channels between the project managers and stakeholders. The outputs are updates to the master plan, project documents, change requests, and work information, work performance informations. Next. Monitor risks. In monitor risk, here we ensure that we are using the risk responses that we decided before in case the risks occurs, okay? And added the new risks that occur during the project that we weren't aware about it. Next. Controlling the procurements means that we need to ensure that all the procurements on the budget and manage using it to progress the project. Next, here you can see the outputs of this phase, which is change request, work performance information, updates to the master plan, to the project documents, and even updates to the event outcome. Next. Monitor stakeholders engagement. Here we should evaluate the engagement of the stakeholders and make them aware about the progress of the project and all the changes that have been made during the project. The outputs are updates to the master plan, project documents, change requests, and work performance information. After that, finally we reach to the closing process group, which has only one phase, which is close project or close phase. The input to this phase are all the previous documents, such as project charter, the master plan, all the project documents, all the accepted deliverables, the business documents, the agreements, OPA. The output, the main output of the close phase is project documents update, especially for lesson learned register. The final product also is an output in this phase. The final report and updates to the if and OPA. This phase is not only in the end of the project, it's also in each end of the phases to ensure that we documented the lesson learned, okay, and the recommendations for each of the phases and processes. Next. To sum it all up, project management professional course taught us how to use project management plans to ensure the professionality in our projects, okay, by doing all the previous process group that you saw in this presentation. So mainly our project was an introductory to the course about an introductory course about the Faculty of Engineering, especially Mechanical Engineering department, for high school students. The five main phases of our project are initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and finally the closing. The main objective of our project is to make the students aware about the university requirements and the basics of engineering. I hope that you enjoyed us. I hope that you enjoyed our project with our presentation. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.